Know your enemy, know yourself, and you can fight 100 battles without disaster. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to embrace this philosophy to help you create winning business strategies that are both robust, resilient, and effective. Check it out. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a powerful business concept called the red team. Now, this originated in the military and intelligence circles long ago, where we always have somebody play the enemy. Right? As where you come up with our plans, our battle plans, mission plans, it's very important that we don't get into groupthink and just look at things from one perspective, that we have an expert look at it from the enemy side. This is what intelligence officers and specialists do in the government and military. Is what they do is they dig in and they really understand the mind, the tactics, the strategies in order to anticipate decisions and movements and reactions from the enemy. And now in the cybersecurity space, a lot of people are familiar with the term a red team. And this is like ethical hacking, right? When someone comes in, you hire someone or approve of someone to come in and test your firewall, test your procedures, things like that. Well, when I was in the military, I did a really cool mission with my team. We got to practice some of these skills and provide this service. We actually worked with the Kentucky Department of Corrections at one of their maximum security prisons that happened to be right on a lake, right by the water. And so we worked with them. The warden knew and a few select members of that team, but nobody else in the prison knew this was happening. And what we did is actually systematically analyze their security. What were their weaknesses? What were their reactions? How did they react to, we did things like walked by and threw something into the yard, like a tennis ball, just to see how long a reaction would be to come check out and see what it was, or what angles could they see, where could we approach, and then we compiled all this data, and we did a cool mission at night where we were under night vision and driving jet skis and sneaking up and doing all this stuff. And it was great training for us as like we were planning on attacking this target. But the real value in the real world was to the warden when we sat down with him, identified a few, here are your weaknesses from the outside, from the enemy's perspective. And then we also provided him with a list of solutions to fix this for under $15,000. So that's one kind of cool example of a red team. But in business, right? You'd be like, Sean, this is awesome, but what does this to do with my small business or my job in this large corporation? Well, far too often we don't designate anyone inside of our team to be the red team, to try to view our actions from the eyes of the enemy, right? Or the market, things that could go wrong. And I highly advise you to think this way. So when you come up with your marketing strategy or an operations plan, okay, it shouldn't be all roses. You get in this groupthink mentality. Oh, it's the greatest idea. This is the greatest product. This is the greatest rollout. This is the greatest, personnel plan, whatever it is. And then you get doing it, and no one is being the contrarian. No one's trying to actively poke holes in your plan. And you need to have a strategy to do this. So I wrote a short article that'll be on StrongerLeadersStrongerProfits.com. You can go check it out. I'll put the link in the comments. But in it, I give a specific example for a marketing campaign of a made-up company, right? Where you go through a planning process, and each one of your teams develops maybe a different marketing plan or different marketing campaign and strategy. And then you assign someone who understands the market, who understands economics, who understands consumer behavior, right? Someone who it's usually a senior person. One of the most senior people, most experienced people should be that red team, right? That contrarian. And go through and you can divide up the plan. So, in this example, I divided it up in terms of like target market segment, unique value proposition, that sort of thing. In the military, we divide it up a lot of times chronologically, right? We would go from insertion as one phase, infiltration, actions on the objective, exfiltration, extraction. And then we would poke holes and go through it chronologically, right? And then we would say, all right, we're going to do this. And we'd have our intel sergeant or intel officer say, all right, well, if I was the enemy and I saw this or this is the weakness of the plan, or the weather here could happen. And he would come up with some likely scenarios. And then we would have to say, well, we would do X, our counteraction. So action, reaction, counteraction, right? And we can do this in business as well. So this is super valuable because out of this we get 3 main takeaways. 1, when we go to decide, is this a plan we want to do, and we compare it to other options, we have a thorough understanding of its strengths and its weaknesses, its advantages and its disadvantages. So leadership can make a more informed decision. That's 1. 2, we have a more robust and better plan because the whole team has got together and thought about, oh man, you're right, that could go wrong. Ooh, maybe that's not the right packaging. Maybe we're not going to get the best response from our clients if we do this. And then you can come up with plans to better it and make a more robust and thorough plan. So now when you go to implement this thing, right, you're further along in the process with a better product for implementation. And then thirdly, and one of the very cool reasons that you need to do this in your business is that you have inherently now created contingency plans. You've identified things that would be very risky. In the military, we call, we always have considered 2 actions of the enemy at a minimum. One is the most dangerous course of action. So that may not be the most likely thing to happen, but it could be the worst thing for us. And then we try to plan it and have a contingency plan for that. So what's the worst thing that could happen in this business plan or this product rollout? The very worst, right? Maybe it's a massive pandemic virus. Man, what we're in the middle of, in terms of businesses, for some of us, what could be sort of a worst case scenario. How do you adapt and plan? Not very many of us had plans for this, but if we had gone through a process, we may have. And then the other thing we do is welcome with a most likely course of action. Right? So what's the most likely thing to happen? And you plan around that. So now when you get done, from a business sense, right, you have all of these contingencies already done. So now you can make plans for those. So now when you do that product market and rollout and your competitor counters with this, boom, you're ready to react. It speeds up the efficiency of implementation. It really helps with risk mitigation, and it sets up your plan for success with a more well thought out and understood plan, a more thorough plan, and a plan that you already have built-in contingency plans that then you can beef up, and then you just got here's our we're going to this objective. Here's our product rollout. Here's our marketing strategy. Here's our logistics plan. And by the way, here are the 10 or 20 most likely or most dangerous things that could happen to derail our plan, and here's our response. Now, how powerful is that? So, for more information, again, go check out my blog article at strongerleaderssstrongerprofits.com. And if you have any questions or ideas, put it down in the comments or message me directly, and I'm happy to have a discussion. But this is an important part of the planning process that I preach to everyone that I coach, work with, and consult. Hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, see ya.